Well. I just want to talk about something for a minute because something just ran across my TV screen about infertility treatments. Now, do y'all remember? Because it ain't been that long ago. It hadn't been that long ago, and I just so happen to live here in the Bible Belt of the South. And I remember when conservative Christians were very much against infertility treatments. Yes. Yes, they said that was playing God. That was playing God. Yes, that God made you just the way you're supposed to be. I mean, they still say that every time you bring up a transgender individual. Even Bullshit Bobby got behind a microphone at a press conference and said, God made you the way you're supposed to be. You shouldn't be changing yourself. Even though she's had nose jobs and jaw jobs and teeth jobs and lip jobs and eye jobs, but apparently she wasn't created in the image that she thought she was supposed to be. But either way, y'all remember when they were very much against infertility treatments because it was playing God. Well, I just seen something on my TV that reminded me of an article that I read on the Heritage Foundation site. Yes, baby, I go over there and I read what the fuck propaganda they're pushing out to the people on the Heritage Foundation site. And just now on my TV, there are new technologies that will allow you to pick and choose which characteristics your children have. Yes. Now, they're saying that, maybe we could get rid of insomnia and this and this and this and that or whatever. Basically, designer fucking babies. Designer babies, honey. Doing God's job. Designing how your children should be. Taking the reins away from God in the designing of your child. Ooh. And just yesterday when I was over there on the Heritage Foundation reading, let me tell you this shit, honey. They've got a whole section on their new plans as far as the current administration when it comes around our bodies and infertility treatments and all sorts of stuff. Like one of the things they want to get rid of expeditiously is the FACE Act. Now, the FACE Act was put in place because, the nutbags that like to hang out outside of clinics where women go and they get violent with you and you can't even get in the door to the clinic because people are trying to unalive you and harm you. Well, the FACE Act was put in place that doesn't allow people to stand out in front of clinics anymore and threaten you. That's right. That's one of the things that they want to get rid of. They want to be allowed to stand in front of Planned Parenthood and clinics and harass the shit out of and violently threaten individuals going in there. That's one of the things the Heritage Foundation wants to get rid of. They want to exercise their right to harass you as you're trying to go see a doctor. It's one of their top agendas to dismantle the FACE Act, along with all sorts of agendas that would help fertility. They even going to set up a little app that helps you track your cycle and all of that. Yeah, there's several of those. If you are on an app today that helps you track your cycle, delete that. Delete it expeditiously. Honey, women for millions of years have been tracking our cycle without an app on the phone. Delete it expa-fucking-ditiously. Thank you, because they're tracking you through that. But there's all kind of things they want to do, but I just find it strange. I find it strange that the same exact people who say they don't believe in science, they don't believe in climate change, they don't believe in vaccines are now designing babies and playing God. Just something I noticed, honey. Just something I noticed. If they really do believe, baby, if these people really do believe in the up and in the down, they're going to be very surprised to find out the elevator's going down. The elevator's going down. They call him a king, Daddy. But I think they picked the wrong one. They think it's David, but he was Saul. I know. They don't read that book. They never open it up and actually take a good look at it while they're saying that, he was sent here by God, their new king. I guess they forgot the story of Saul. The people really wanted a king, and God said, you don't want a king. You don't need a king. I am your king. And the people begged and begged and begged and begged for a king because they thought a king, a man, could unite the tribes together as one. So God said, I'm going to give you what you want. But don't come at me crazy when you find out it's not what you want, baby. and he gave him Saul. And what did Saul do? That's right. And Saul was a bad guy. He was a military force king. Thought he could fix everything through war and force and intimidation and fear. But what happened? David came along. Little tiny David. And for some reason, Christians only remember the story of David and Goliath. They forget all about Saul. They forget all about Saul and how David came to be king. Yes, in their minds, David came to be king because he had a slingshot and a rock and took out Goliath. That's not what made David king, you fool. Read your book better. But yes, you begged for a king and he gave you one. And now you're going to suffer the consequences for that. But either way, I think it's absolutely upside down and backwards today that at the same time you're telling me that science and vaccines and climate change aren't fucking real, you are currently working on plans to make designer fucking babies. Whew!